Hey everybody, it's Sean from HOLDFAST Bricks. Let's see how that sounds. This is the new camera. This is the new lighting. This is the new microphone. I just thought I'd set it up one last time. The weird thing is staring at the screen. I think that is part of the challenge of doing streams. Like, how do you get it? So I'm looking right at my face. If I move my screen to the top. Anyway, enough of this. So we are going to be streaming on a regular basis from now on. What day in the comments below, tell me what day that you would like to see me do this kind of thing. And I just wanted to show you this little trick that the new camera does. So we're as we were talking about Jedi Bob last night, we can do this. Let's show the build. Bam. So now we can actually just switch it between this, and I should be able to actually show you inside the ship and hold the camera up, because the camera is so smart. Look, camera, blue milk, and it's in focus. Isn't that amazing? And then we can look at Jedi Bob, and we can maybe we'll see his little torso this time. Look how in focus he is. That's pretty great. Let's see how close we can get. Look how in focus that is, and it's fast. So this is going to change the game. This has been like a pain of mine. I got these Logitech cameras a while ago. They are the Logitech 4K blah, blah, blahs. And they're okay for what they are. I'm sure that my wife will inherit it. And everyone on her conference calls for work will be like, wow, Caroline, you look so clear and crisp. But in this situation here, we can do this and just by the click of a button, come back to me. It's that amazing. It's a little camera on a teeny tiny gimbal, and it's super fast. I don't want to switch that around too much on you because it's crazy, but before I had a 2-camera setup, and that's it. Anyway, so the microphone's set up. It should be running some sort of like bass voice enhancer. I could change it to robot voice. I can do whatever I want, but I don't want to because that's stupid. Anyway, so let me know in the comments, what day of the week should I do a stream? I'm going to try and aim for something like, I don't know, I might do a whole build in a day, and I might do a half a build like I did yesterday. So it depends. Maybe an hour. Who knows? Maybe I could do multiple casts a week. And subject matter. Is there anything that you want me to talk about? Like there's the Lego company, the Lego group is releasing new kits on a very regular basis. Do you want me to talk about that kind of stuff? Do you want me to talk about drama in the world of Lego? Do you want to talk about the very interesting thing that happened? Was it last night? I was watching the old social media, and a friend of mine, actually a member of the Marilug group, reshared a thing from the local air show that's going to go on in Nova Scotia in a few weeks. And there was like a free Lego kit that was coming out. And I was like, a free Lego kit? And it was an F-35 fighter jet. And I was like, an F-30? That's not Lego. So I watched the video, and it's clearly not Lego. It's Best Lock brand. And they are a third-party manufacturer. They make a whole bunch of stuff. You can get them on wherever, but they're a mass producer. So basically, it's a poly bag that someone produced, and then someone else got maybe some wholesale rights to it, and then bought 1 million of them, and actually had them customized for the Royal Canadian Air Force, and have a cool custom brick on them. And then the cool packaging says Royal Canadian Air Force. It's the 100th anniversary of the Royal Canadian Air Force. And I respect the Royal Canadian Air Force, and I respect all the pilots and all the things. But they were marketing it as a Lego fighter jet. Kids come down to our Lego zone to get the Lego fighter jet, and Lego. And I was like, ooh. And as I am an ambassador to Lego from my lug, but also just as a human being, it is in my responsibilities guidelines to be respectful of the branding, be respectful of our best practices. There is a big, easy to follow best practices document on the Lego website, where you can basically go on and go like, if I'm using Lego in my marketing for Bricksplosion, let's say, the #1 Lego fan event, there has to be a registered trademark. There has to be a disclaimer at the bottom that Lego does not endorse, support, or do anything to support this event. So you have to do that, and it has to be in the right font, and it has to be this, and it has to be that. And you can't just willy-nilly just say, oh, yes, these Halo kits are Lego sets, because they're not Lego sets. And also the HOLDFAST brick kits that I manufacture and distribute, they are not Lego kits. They are made using genuine Lego parts, but they are not Lego kits. Lego would not be happy if I was saying to people that they were Lego kits. Anyway, so that was last night, and I saw this thing, and then I did some more research today, and that's where I found out all the manufacturer data, because I saw that there's a video of a kid who's like sighted and tearing apart this bag and building this fighter's jet and putting the Canada. I actually, I think it's like, I'd like one for my collection, so I'm tempted to go to the air show, or wherever the next one is, because they're kind of cool, but they're not Lego. So beware. But I'm sure that most people are aware. But the air show should not be saying Lego, 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 because it ain't Lego, Lego, Lego. Though it's interesting because we actually have a relationship at Marilug, and many lugs around the world probably have some sort of relationship to an event like that. We've got a number of air cadets, ex-air cadets that were in and that are in our group. There's actually some people that work for the Canadian Air Force as technicians and things like that work on planes, and so we have a relationship in a sense where one of our events, one of the organizer just knows the guy at the Air Museum, and so we have an exhibition at the Air Museum. And but when the lug puts on events, we need to follow reasonable guidelines. We're not supposed to be doing war machines and all sorts of stuff like that. And again, if we do train displays at the air show, and one person is working on a CF-50, CF-65, a big plane that the military uses, but it's also like a transport plane. So there's a relationship anyway. So what I'm saying, and the Saskatchewan lug, a slug, I love the name. Anyway, Slug does their show at the Moose Jaw Air Force, or not Air Force, Air Museum in Moose Jaw, and that's where the snowbirds are from. And if you're a Canadian Air Force fan, you like the snowbirds. I like the snowbirds, but they're like test planes and practice planes. They don't have guns on them. So I would assume that Lego's probably not going to make a snowbird, but you might be able to get away with a genuine Lego building kit of whatever the snowbird plane is, because it's a training plane. Anyway, blah blah blah. That's the drama. As I bring up drama, there's no real drama in the Lego world, but that was an interesting one. So that was I've had a discussion with them. I said you should check your marketing, and we'll see where that goes. Lego is very protective of its brand. They don't want people to be taking advantage of their name, just like anybody. If you were selling potatoes and you were like, well, they're McCain's potatoes, and you're like, no, that's your name's McLeod. Those are McLeod potatoes, not McCain potatoes. McCain might take issue with that, just because they're bricks with knobs on them doesn't make them Lego bricks. So anyway, Jedi Bob Starship. Look at this. We can do this again. Bam! Look at that. That is kind of cool, don't you think? And I don't know. I gotta figure out shadows. What is this? What is that? I can't find out what that is. Is it this? Oh, it's my mouse. Shadow of my mouse. Anyway, I also want to figure out what's the perfect placement. I think I should get a white table. I do have a tray that I normally work on from the Swedish store of IKEA. So that's normally what I work on if I'm not building in here. But I do like my Linus Tech Tips mouse pad. It is a gigantic Northern Lights mouse pad from lttstore.com. On that note, This is not a plug. Well, it is a plug. It's a plug, but it's not a paid plug. I got one of these from my wife. This is the Linus Tech Tips screwdriver. And if you can see there, bam, look at that in focus. LTT store. How close we can get. Some really good. How close can we get? That's too close. Okay, we got that far. So that's like 7 centimeters. That's pretty good. Anyway, so this is a Linus Tech Tip screwdriver. It's got a little tiny, and these are teeny tiny bits, which are really nice. They have a really short stem on them. Really nice snap in there. Really nice magnet power. Like, that's substantial. So it's locking, but then you can actually have it set. And then you can very gently, that tightening. Switch it the other way. Lock it. And then stick your bit back. Ooh, it's good magnet. Anyway, it's a lovely screwdriver. Linus is one of those. He's a Canadian content creator. Ooh, that's good. And he's a super tech nerd. And I've been watching his shows for a long time. He used to work for a company called NCIX. And he was, when I was building computers back in my good old days of my youth, I would watch unboxings and reviews of I'm like, oh, I need that grip. The grip feels good. I need a new chunk of memory. I need a new hard drive. I need a new whatever. Anyway, so there's LTT store screwdriver. If you're ever interested in a new screwdriver, that is the good one. And there is a stubby screwdriver, a little bit shorter for shorter small spaces. And there's, I guess, a precision screwdriver that's coming out soon, so you can get on the waiting list for them. But anyway, it's a really nice product. And there's a really cool video on YouTube, like an hour long or something, about like basically the whole process that they went through to make the screwdriver. So this is not leg related, but I'm going to use my screwdriver. There's something. I've got an old 12-volt motor maybe that I need to take apart, and I think it needs a screwdriver. I don't know. There's not much Lego. Were the old battery packs for the boost line? They need a screwdriver, I think, to get in and out of. So actually, I should probably do something fun like that. I should. Boost really suffered with the last. So Boost came out 10 years ago. My nephews are 17 and 18, and they probably were something like 8, 9, 10 when the Boost robot builder kit came out. And then soon after that was the Boost Star Wars droid builder kit. And that was it. You could get the Ninjago Blue Dragon and a Lego City Antarctic kit or Arctic kit. And yes, you could use those kits with the Boost setup, and you could build a specific vehicle, build a specific dragon. We've never done that. My son and I were talking about that. We should make the dragon do stuff. But then Lego gave up basically on the technology. So they shut down the software, and then they you can't really use it because you needed an app. And the app was very, there was no instructions. Like the droid building kit, there's no instructions in the box. And so you had to have the Boost app working properly to get all those little mini missions. That's how you learned how to build all the options. Now he needs a saw blade. So you need to, follow this step to do this thing and then unlock the next step. And then you can, so there were these it was a thing. And then basically they killed the app and made it undownloadable from the stores. And so then you couldn't actually finish the design. But I think my son and I managed to sideload an older version onto a tablet, and that worked. But it was disappointing. So I don't know if you can go back and actually make, there was a cat that meowed and a guitar that you could strum with the original Boost kit. So I'm gonna look into that. But then I could use my screwdriver, lttstore.com, and yeah, that would be a fun set to explore again. The R2 unit is set up currently with one of the motors in it, and I don't know where my other kit is. I lost the original boost kit. You had to build things to like drive it around on a map, very much like the Lego, the first Lego League. So first Lego League is a really cool, and that's another thing that maybe I should talk about. Because nobody in Lego really seems to know about first Lego League, and it is a youth educational opportunity for smart kids in smart areas, or maybe not smart kids, just kids that want to learn. And you get the I actually signed up to be a coach, I think, but I didn't have a team, and I didn't have the money, but I've signed up and I've been getting the emails for like 3 years, so I keep following along. So this year I think is an underwater series of challenges. I don't know actually if it's actually in underwater, but they just set it up like that. 7:00. Holy cow. I need to go get supper. I said I was going to go for a walk. The sun is still up, so I should probably go outside. But yeah, Boost, first Lego League would be fun. I'd like to involve those kids. There's a specific team in Halifax that's run by the, I think it's the Imhotep organization to support young black youth in Halifax specifically. And I think they actually were going to nationals last year. They did well in the challenge in the Acadia regional championships that our lug was at. And that would be kind of fun if I could follow up with them, talk to the instructors, maybe interview some kids, I think. I've got a plan. It's weird being me, because I always have goofy ideas, and I was like, I should do this, I should do that. Anyway, camera works, the lights work, the microphone works. Hopefully it's recording sound. Last time it was funny, but now that I have the app running, I'm hoping it's working. But yeah, who knew? But yeah, look at this, cool. Bam. Whoosh. Look at that droid. Whoosh. Wow, me. So now you won't have to stare at me while I'm doing a build, or you can stare at me while I'm building down here. But now you can see all the freckles on my head because of the beautiful lights. Anyway, on that note, thank you very much for staying. Put in the comments what day you'd like me to stream, if you're actually going to follow me live. You can kind of catch me semi-regularly now on the Canadian Brick Builders channel. So if you're not following the Canadian Brick Builders, they are Jeff Van Winden, Dave Cowdice, and David Saint-Cyr. I have to say David Saint-Cyr. Wink when I say that. David's had a flood in his basement. He was in the Montreal floods that came through Montreal last week. Time flies. Jeff's from outside Toronto. I don't think he's actually in Toronto. He's in Toralug, but I think he was in the Peacekeepers Lug before the Peacekeepers Lug evolved. And Dave Cowdice. Dave Cowdice is famous mostly for his beautiful vintage or like classic space amazing build that he brings around. It's got a monorail that's all over the place. It's got a million lights. It's got a million ships. It's got all the cool stuff. If you like classic space, Dave Cowdice makes an amazing thing. Jeff Van Winden actually is a super castle nerd. He built a gigantic castle that was at Bricks in the Six last year. Anyway, that's Canadian Brick Builders, and they've got a bunch of friends as well. So they have Etienne from Brickomania was on the show last week. David was in and out, and then I popped in for probably the last 40 minutes of the show. It's kind of fun to be on that show. I have a lot of respect for those builders. They're kind of they're older than me. And I'm when I first saw them in person, I was actually quite nervous. And I nobody knew who I was because I'm Sean from Halifax. Nobody cares who I am. But anyway, yes, they were at Bricks in the Six, and I was like, I've watched your podcast for a long time, and I was like, I didn't want to. But yeah, anyway, they've got like 180 episodes, but they basically do like the weekly news and talk about all the sets and all the new parts that, but like that amount of research is actually pretty amazing. So Jeff does a lot of that work, and he's a very dedicated person to that side of things, and they represent a nice Canadian angle. And I think they're kind of like an epicenter on YouTube for Canadianity. Like there are, of course, Brixie out in Edmonton, and there's some other influencer that's on YouTube that I don't even know. But Nick Delamore is more on Twitch. He's not necessarily on YouTube as much, as far as I know. But yeah, they're kind of like the Guess Who of Canadian. They're classic rock YouTube streaming. They're funny in their way. So anyway, it's an honor to be on that show, and now that I've got lights, but maybe I'll have them on my show. I'd like to do interviews too. If you're watching this now, hey, put on the list, put on the notes. Hey, Sean, you can Zoom me into your meeting. I'll have to figure out how that works, because I think I've only done that once, but actually got somebody to join a call. I think I just need to send out a link, and then I can stick their head beside mine, and that would be fun. Yeah. So what day you want? What topics do you want? Who should I interview? I should get Zach Steinman, but Zach Steinman's kind of a weird one because he's in the city. But to do live, I do have 2 microphones. I did plan that this actually was going to be a Zach Steinman, Sean McLeod show, but it's proven difficult to not be distracted by everything else. Like we went to Chicago together, and I was like, I had 2 microphones. I was like, we should do like, here we are in the airport. But then we got to the airport and we were so tired. And then we got to the event and we're like, oh, it's so tiring. We just worked. And then we like walked around and talked to everybody and we're like, oh, it's so tiring. So like to have that much energy on top of all the other stuff, I don't know how people do it, like media people. The fan media that were at Brickworld Chicago, they just seemed exhausted and tired, and everyone wanted to say, oh, can I get a picture with you? And then they were like, cool. And then they ran away. I was too Canadian to like, I could see the exhaustion in their eyes when I would see them like running towards the airport, and the elevator. And I just was like, I'll catch you on the other. Talk to you later. And they'd be like, okay, cool. So yeah, I was too polite and I didn't get any pictures with anybody from Chicago. But in Toronto, totally different world. Everyone just is like not overworked. They're all just like, what's your name? And I'm like, I'm Sean. Oh. Anyway, so yeah, I had a really good time with the I should do that. I should do a wrap-up video I should do a review of Bricks and the Six from last year. I should do a review of Brickworld Chicago. I'm going to have to figure out how to do like slideshows or something. There's got to be a way to like import display capture, game capture, image slideshow. There you go. See, I'm learning right now. So I could click image slideshow, create new slideshow, and then always play even when not visible. Oh, right. Okay. Slideshow. That makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This makes sense. Is there a way to click it? Nope. It's just so sometimes you have a stream where there's just like Nick Delamore, Brick and Nick, he will often have a little window kind of off to one side that'll just show all of Nick's cool mocks. And I've thought that was really cool. I don't do enough mocks. So I should build more mocks, and then I can put a little window of all my slideshow of my mocks. Most of my mocks are like, there's not many of them left. Often what I do is I'll build something and then I destroy it. Because I'm like, I don't need to keep that. But I usually keep a souvenir, like a toe. I have a bunch of heads. There's the head of the seagull that I made. That was 3 years ago. 3 years ago now. I should go yawning, because if I'm yawning, you're yawning. But anyway, tell me what you want to see. That's the goal. So I've been rambling for 25 minutes. I hope you go to hfxbrx.ca. Halifax Bricks, Holdfast Bricks. I'm one and the same. I'm never going to change my name. I'm always going to be Halifax Bricks and Holdfast Bricks. My Bricklink store is HFX space BRX Halifax Bricks. I like the name. I like that it's, and I don't want to get rid of it, so I'm going to keep it as my Bricklink store. So as long as I have a Bricklink store, I will keep that name. So there you go. And right now my Bricklink store is still shut down because I'm still crazy working. I will talk about that next time. So thank you very much. And yeah, give me also in the notes, give me suggestions for sign off slogans like brick off. No, that's lame. Lego my ego. No, that's lame. Hold fast. May the force